I've been telling everybody Lola's a show girl.
She tried to tell me she wasn't going to be here.
We have all come together to celebrate the life and times, the crazy story, the up and down adventures of our own Holly Sistek Hitch herself. One of the reasons why all of the old timers are here is because we know where most of the skeletons are buried. And we have got enough interesting anecdotes to tell those of you who are new to Holly, or maybe don't perhaps know some of the nuances of her former relationships. For example, the longer we've known her for so long, we've got a lot of intimate details that we've learned over the years. Just one that comes immediately to mind. A lot of people have wondered what's the last thing Holly does to her asshole before she goes out for a night on the town. She drops him off at band practice. You have to, just the longer you know somebody, you pick up this stuff. We have a letter here from somebody who could not be here. This is a letter from Diane. This is one of your
Diana.
One of your.
Oh my God, this will be great.
One of your New York subgenius people, and she, in true roast fashion, has sort of kept it in this spirit. I'm allowed to read this out loud, and I'm not going to sound anything like her, so I won't try. So Holly, no. So Holly is turning 50. Milestone birthdays are a time for reflection and introspection and self-assessment. But since Holly is so in love with herself, she'll never be able to get a clear picture, so it appears we have to do it for her. If you ask an assorted group of Holly's casual acquaintances to describe her in one word, you're going to hear a lot of sexy. Right, that comes up a lot. Well, I've known Holly for a long time, and I'm here to tell you, Holly is not sexy. To wit, Holly is an angry woman. I once saw Holly utterly ream an angry hippie out on the side of a dusty road because the hippie in question accused her of driving too fast. She pulled that car right over, got out of it in her negligee and stilettos, and put that sputtering, unnecessarily hostile earth goddess in her place. There was a lot of flailing about. Now, this is a true story. That is not sexy behavior, okay? Holly is vain. I once had to squat down on the ground and paint the entire intimate zone of her inner butt cheeks with body paint because Holly had to have an elaborate naked blue costume for a costume party. Holly made me do this. There are photos.
And she looked for them.
Quote, paint me blue between the cheeks and get every inch. It is not something sexy people say. Holly is a smarty pants. I've seen her make references to arcane literature, and in the next breath talk about music nobody's ever heard. Holly can intelligently discuss politics while holding a liter-sized water bottle that is rumored to contain mostly vodka. She will sit there in a gown, slurping spirits and being a brainiac blatantly. I ask you, is that something a sexy woman does?
No.
Never, ever.
No.
The media has taught me a lot about the correct behavior of sexy, beautiful women. And for what I've seen, being a tough, intelligent woman with a good sense of humor about herself does not equal sexy. So I'm very sorry, Holly. On this, your 50th year on this stupid planet, I have to break the bad news to you. You are not sexy. But you are a lot of other great things, and maybe you can finally learn to accept yourself and grow some confidence. We can review the progress in 10 years. Love, Diana.
Oh my gosh,
I'm very pleased to get to do this. And so now comes the moment that, Holly's been waiting for. I don't know about the rest of you. Our first roaster of the evening looks a little out of place amongst all of the black hair and black clothes in attendance. But don't worry, folks, she's a cutter. And apparently just as slutty as the rest of us. So please put your hands together and welcome the hostess and former head cheerleader of the Dallas Cowboys, Dawn. It's on you, sister.
All right, thank you. Thanks for that great introduction.
Oh, sure.
By the way, it's great to finally meet you.
You too.
So Mark Hare, he's from a small town in North Texas. We have him on the catch and release program tonight. I introduced myself to him earlier, and he looked at me like I was the last cupcake. I think he needs to get out more.
Yes, very nice, I do.
You are the last cupcake, honey.
Aww. Oh my God, you guys did not do that.
So before I get started with your home, I have to say, this may be our final days on Earth. So you should mark your calendars, because Deb was actually on time.
I love you that much. I love you that much.
Just to keep it clear, we didn't even have to lie to her to get her here on time.
I know.
All right.
Only
so-
like so many people get that, like these. They're just all
Hey, I've
good.
only been around a year and I get it. I'm going to sit down. Because I'm going to tell a story. So you all know, most of you know we went to Costa Rica. Don't kill me. So what? I can't sit down. While we were there, I was in the driver's
Matching
seat.
tattoos.
Oh.
Really?
So I was in the driver's seat.
Jealous mine.
Tattoos.
Literally in the driver's seat. So I was responsible for getting us through a foreign country with crazy drivers. No road signs. Costa Rica has no road signs, and GPS doesn't work there.
That's perfect for Holly.
But wait, can you imagine Holly actually giving anybody that much control?
No.
Me either, but it really happened. So here I am with precious cargo. By the way, does anybody seen one of those signs that says Queen on board? I need one for our adventure. Oh, speaking of queens, where'd she go? Oh, haha.
Making the
No.
entrance as usual.
Just, no, really. Speaking of queens, Holly's friends are all royalty. At least we think we are. I was really happy Jan actually made it today because I was worried she was going to be home still polishing all those tiaras.
It's a lot of work.
I know she does. She was telling us about it. I thought she would still be polishing them.
That's
You
what.
leave Tom at home polishing the tiaras.
That's what the family's doing.
So anyway, back to the story. So as we're driving, the only thing I can think about is, what if something happens? I'm going to have to go into hiding. Because when I get home, if I don't bring Holly and her boots back safely, all her fans are going to come hunt me down. And why is this? You can all say it, because everyone loves Holly.
Oh, come on. Oh, you figured it in.
Well, I had to, just because. Okay, so really, here's the real story. So there comes a mountain. We're driving uphill, which became steep fucking incline. And then it became, oh my fucking God, I can't do this. And yep, right about that time, the car stalled. So picture this. I'm in the driver's seat with the four-wheel drive, standard Jeep kind of vehicle. Holly's in the passenger seat, holding on, her fist clenched as tight as anything. Now, let off the brake, put in the clutch, and you start rolling backwards. So, mountain, seriously, there's nowhere to go but up.
Or over.
Well, there was nowhere to stop, so we start rolling backwards. The second time, maybe the third, all I hear is, I'm going to read this exactly here.
Yep.
I do not want to roll down this fucking mountain backwards! So
That was
those of
a
you
long
that,
wing.
Backwards.
It's a big mountain. It's a whole fucking way down.
most of you, when I say this, you're going to get it. Yes, it was that voice. The voice which causes mountains to tremble and men to fall to their knees.
Oh.
I was trembling, but praise Bob, the mountain didn't tremble that day, and we might have ended up down the mountain on our backs. As for the men, they know letters over
Aw.
And you know, come to think of it, that's the only time I've known Holly not to want to roll on her backside. And before I let it go back to Mark, I just say one thing. For those of you who don't know Weldon, don't let him corner you with a story, and never, never ask him about the best dog you ever had.